I was crying very frequently. I rarely do that. And oh, we're now starting to record it. So hi, I'm Tracey Flintoff. We're so glad to have you with us on this beautiful Sunshine Tuesday night. And we know your future self is going to so thank you for taking the time today. We promise to make it worth your while. And thank you for joining us. But I have to tell you, when these beautiful phototherapy patches came in our life, it was at a time that we all, my whole family and Eric's family, my husband's family needed these too. And they've done so much for so many of us. But for me, they gave me my brain back when I went through a very harsh menopause and I was losing my hair. And my hairstylist and I, we keep moving my part around and we were getting really creative with how to fluff the hair and hide the bald spots. And my fingernails were paper thin. I didn't sleep but 2 hours at a time because of hot flashes. And I was really feeling stupid. And I used to think I was halfway smart person. And I got very quiet. And when you can't find the words, you get quiet. And everyone at work was like, oh, you're just not yourself. Oh, you used to lead these meetings. And I stopped all of that purposely because I couldn't do it. And so it has been a game changer, a life changer for me, because a few weeks after wearing these, my words came back. I started knowing people's names. I started understanding what my spreadsheets at work were trying to tell me. And that was a big game changer. But Eric and I, we are skeptics because seems too good to be true. How can this little round thing that we're going to talk about tonight do so many good things? But when my hairstylist, about 6 weeks in of me wearing these patches, she said to me, what do you have going on the top of your head? And I was like, what do you mean, like dandruff or something? And she said, oh, no. We're talking, you've got huge amounts of hair starts. Like all those little bald patches have little miniature forests of hair coming back. And I thought that was a pretty amazing thing. And I came home and I told Eric, these patches are really real. They are not in our head. This is doing really great things in our body. So it's just been life-changing. His dad is full cognition, all of his words, knows his people. He also, we love so much because when people have that kind of cognition issue late in their life, they lose their personalities. And if they're on any of those meds, they're really dulling their brain. And the personality often doesn't return. But for him, it has. And he's back to telling us jokes. And we just celebrated their 65th wedding anniversary the other night. And the whole time he was telling us great stories of, movie theater drive-ins, smuggling kids in under blankets in the station wagon, and, all these cool things. And people that have that level of cognition issue impairment don't have those memories. So we're just so thankful that he does not have that any longer. And it's just gone on to do so many other things. Eric had a spinal fusion surgery that was not repairing. It was excruciating pain. 2 weeks after he started wearing these, we went skiing in Utah for Christmas with my dad, and we skied 3 days in a row. And when you ski with my dad, you really ski. You don't sit in the lodge, and he had no pain. So we were pretty thankful about that. But I am going to turn this over to Cami, and we're switching it up tonight. So I'm going to do her part, and she's going to do my part. Oh, but she's reclining herself.
If you bump this button.
I thought she was just super excited to get to talk to you guys, but no, she's over here reclining on the couch. She hit a button.
Fun. All right.
Well, that was exciting. I thought I was, I didn't even know that button existed on the couch over there. So that was pretty funny. It started having a brain of its own. So I'm going to share my screen here. So Tracey and I became friends a couple years ago.
Yeah.
In fact, so we started this friendship because of these patches. I knew her husband, Eric, and she and I hadn't had the pleasure of meeting yet. But so it's quite an honor and a joy and a thrill to be able to share this. And honestly, this really, truly has been helping people, and lives have been changed. There are so many windows open. I'm not sure if I'm getting to the right one. So I'm trying to share my screen. So we'll see what happens, guys. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Can you guys see that on Zoom land? Yes?
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. Okay. That is slide 3 though of 66. So I've got to get back a little bit. Sorry. I'm navigating.
On a foreign computer.
Yeah, the chat bar is right on the slide. Nope.
Okay.
Oh, look, it's a touch screen.
See.
I don't have one of those.
Okay. Click on this, I think, and then you'll be able to navigate. Oh dear. Okay. One moment. Next, previous, no. Huh. Okay.
Hide presenter view.
How weird.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
saying next slide. I wonder if we need to stop and start over. Maybe just, yeah, do
Okay.
the stop and then share again.
Maybe
And
it's
then-
this one,
Oh, I think it's this one, because here's your first slide right here.
but this is what's showing on the screen
Oh, okay.
with the 2 on it.
Okay, this one, you're saying? This one
That one.
or this one?
Sorry, we've got a room full of people and
All right, let's see. Weird.
yeah.
All right, so I need to get rid of that.
Fun, fun, fun.
Ah, there we go. We're getting back there now. There we go. Okay. And I think you should be able to just navigate with these now.
Okay.
There you go.
Welcome. All right. I think we should start the recording now. Welcome, you guys. This is pretty an honor to share this technology with you. I'm sure that curiosity has brought you here or success with the patches. And I would love for you to thank the person who invited you to learn about this, because I hope that this will absolutely rock your world, change your life in a good way, and possibly make the impossible seem possible again and give you some hope. So, what did you do to make it move? Okay, there we go. Tonight we'll be talking about reverse aging, and it changed. It's this is so funny. Okay. Tonight we're talking about reverse aging, and this is a technology that is this wearable Band-Aid looking thing, but it allows your body to repair itself. There's no medicine in this. And just a sad fact, like 2/3 of us humans on this planet will die from something avoidable. And this technology literally in several different ways, and we won't go into a long conversation about telomeres this evening or super detailed, but we can certainly do that at another date. But this literally does turn back the hands of time in your body. So the idea of growing older doesn't become of like, oh my goodness, I don't want to live 10 more years if I'm in this amount of pain or whatever, isn't something to fear, but it's something to be excited about. The hope of growing younger a little bit. So just so you know, Tracey and I are not doctors. And so we do need to share that we're providing information. We're not diagnosing anything or treating medical conditions. We are offering information, and we would encourage you to seek your own healthcare professional regarding issues regarding your treatment. And what we are talking about is light, using light. And light technologies and light therapies have been around for thousands of years, literally. But you see pictures here of more modern takes on light being used as something surgical, as something therapeutic. So it's been harnessed for sure. So what does light do to our bodies? Light literally does make change in our bodies. So, you know, when we walk out into the sunlight, our body sees the light and starts synthesizing vitamin D. It's fast. Have you guys ever, I grew up going to like air shows and stuff, and you know, you can see those really, really fast jets. If you can see the Blue Angels before you can hear them. Why is that? The speed of light travels faster than the speed of sound. So light is fast. And so I'm so excited to tell you more about these patches. They are non-transdermal. There's no drugs in it. There's no chemicals in them or stimulants that get in your body or anything like that. It is a wearable light reflector. So this is a patented form of phototherapy. There's no negative interactions with medications that you're on. And so this is a viable thing. Our US Olympic team can wear them because there's no medications or medicines or stimulants or anything in these. And you can see me, I know I'm on a thumbnail here on Zoom, but I have my patch right here. Just for visual purposes, normally I don't wear it right here on my neck, but normally I will wear it on the back of my neck or a few inches below my belly button. And what this does is it reflects my own my body heat is a form of low level infrared light. And so that goes into the patch. The patch is formulated in such a way to be a light reflector that reflects my body heat back at a certain frequency. When my body sees that frequency of light, in this case, my body goes, I'm going to make copper peptide. And so, like I said, this is a patented wearable general wellness device. It is not subject to all the regulations of the FDA, though it is a category of the FDA. It is patented and it's been around. The X39 has been around since 2018. The company's been around for 20 years. So in case anybody wants to sit and read, no. I'll show you to a website where you can dig deep and you can see all this information. But just so you see, this is an abstract from the patent itself. It says that it releases or increases the copper peptide GHKCU in the subject's body. It's non-transdermal, reflects or emits specific wavelengths of light to elevate levels of the copper peptide in the body. So we have the patent saying that it elevates the copper peptide in the body. And what in the world is copper peptide? I'd never heard of it, right? So what we are learning is that copper peptide has been studied for over 50 years. It's pretty amazing. And all of these claims here that you see on these slides are based on test results from this test. Like I said, GHK copper peptide has been tested for 50 years. It's really amazing for skin repair. It's really good for boosting your collagen. It's really good for your hair. It remodels scar tissue, accelerates wound healing. So, tops the list. This one is important to me because I have a lot of people who grew up in farm country and they breathed a lot of crop dusting. And so when copper peptides top the list of over 1,300 bioactive compounds that are used to treat chronic pulmonary issues, that's pretty powerful. And like I said, it works at the speed of light, so it does go to work right away. Incredibly helpful for the brain and nerves, and we'll get into that a little bit deeper in a minute. Then it also, we're not supposed to say a certain C word around here. And again, we're here for informational purposes only. But copper peptide has been tested, and these are the results of copper peptide. They literally are anti-fast growing cells. And it topped the list of over 1,300 bioactive compounds for fast growing colon cells. It reprograms cell death. So if something is, Tracey, can you let your husband in, please? Thank you. The apoptosis is cell death. When a cell is replicating poorly, it needs to go bye-bye. And so GHK copper peptide causes apoptosis of cells that are replicating poorly. And then it, of course, it causes new cells or repairs some damaged cells. And I love this one at the bottom. It resets 84 genes to inhibit fast growing cells. Antioxidants. How many people know what that does in your body? Yeah, gloms onto those free radicals and helps the free radicals are what damage your body, damage your DNA. And the GHK has antioxidant power. It stimulates your body to make superoxide dismutase. And it also helps block oxidations. Pretty amazing stuff. So GHK copper peptide also is proven to boost your own body's stem cells. So we can prove this as patch. We just proved that the patch boosts or shows the patent that shows that your body makes copper peptide and all of the wonderful things that copper peptide does. And oh, by the way, the most important thing, it helps your body release stem cells, your own stem cells. And that's just as a refresher course, when stem cells, pluripotent ones, are the ones when a baby is in utero and an egg and a sperm meet and start dividing and dividing and dividing, those are the ones that can become anything that your body needs. So they aren't assigned yet to be in your nervous system. They're not assigned yet to be in your heart. God knows what your body needs, and that turns things on and turns things off, right? That's a stem cell. Smart. They know what your body needs and what it should become. As we age, though, don't know if y'all notice this, but as we age, we repair. Our broken bones take longer to repair than a child's. If we get a wound or have to have surgery, it takes us a lot longer as adults to repair and recover, when it seems like babies just bounce right back, right? They just repair so quickly. And that's because of our stem cells. We have less and less stem cell activity as we age. And by the time we're 60, it's about 10%-ish. And we age faster with the more stress and more toxins that we have in our bodies. So what are our options for stem cells? We have injections. We can go out of the country. They're not yours. There's some issues with that. And they're expensive. And we want to make sure that that they're ethically sourced. And that's hard to do. In the United States, they can pull from your own bone marrow and spin it and replicate your own stem cells. It's very invasive. It's called PRP. But guess what? We can do it by this non-invasive, very affordable pathway. So elevating GHK reactivates your own pluripotent stem cells. So that's why we can say this as reverse aging. It's not just anti-aging and pausing where you are. So this, again, patented cellular activation technology that we are wearing that has no medicine in it, no medication. It works on the acupressure points of the body, works with the meridians of your body. There's energy flow throughout our body, and it reflects our own infrared light. So you don't have to go, beam me up, Scotty, and stand out in the sunshine to power up your patch. You are the source of the power for the patch. Let me tell you super briefly about my sweet friend Marcy. She went through a terrible health crisis, had a double mastectomy, went through chemo, radiation, and thought she was free of that nastiness. And then a few months later, she received the diagnosis that it was back with a nasty side order of some skin fast growing cells. And she didn't know what to do. And she was very, very distraught and depressed, and was basically sitting in her recliner and not knowing next steps, and really, really just not wanting to face the rest of her life like that. So her naturopathic doctor discovered the X39 and brought 10 of them over to her. And within those 10 days, she started detoxing chemo out of her mouth. Her skin started detoxing, but she started feeling hope again. And that is a side effect of the GHK copper peptide in the brain. It is a chemical reaction that happens that's been studied. And so in those 10 days, she had a major shift in her health. And just look at her now. She's done amazing. So she's been in full remission for 2.5 years now. And she is a powerhouse. We are in as part of her team in her organization, and together, all of us in the organization in Marcy, we've told 100,000 people about this technology. So now's our chance. If any of you online or in person, whoops, that went fast, online or in person, would like to share your experience super briefly. It just keeps going. Okay.
I think
We would
Rebecca-
love to have you guys take a moment and share if anybody had something that they would like to share about their experience with the patches. I know we have.
Rebecca, would you like to unmute and share your story? Online?
Would you like to share, Rebecca? No?
Okay.
Oh, okay. You're muted anyway. We can see your mouth moving, but I saw the head shake no. We have one in the room here. He's like, would you be willing to share your testimony?
Well,
If you'd like to, if you want to share, you can just stand up here, but
Just so these guys can see. Be on TV. That's right.
2 minutes of fame.
Two-
And then autographs will be required.
Yes, that's right. That's right. There you go. That's us. Hello. And your name is?
Dave,
Hi, Dave. So Dave is just here for the first time. How long have you been on the patches?
about 5 or 6 weeks.
Yay. Excellent.
It's been a big
Yep.
difference.
What were you experiencing before you were patching?
A lot of pain. And arthritis mostly.
Mhm.
Was diagnosed with acute spinal arthritis.
Oof.
And it's made a big difference.
Yeah.
And,
How long did it take to feel a difference when you started patching?
I'd say probably about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And it was a great feeling. It's
Oh.
nice to be able to bend over and grab something off the floor, tie a shoe,
Mhm.
and
Oh, Yeah,
It's great.
yeah,
I've never seen anything like it. So,
very cool. Well, that's pretty amazing. I'm super thankful that you're here, and
Me
I'm
too.
super thankful that you're out of pain, and on your path to healing. That's pretty amazing.
yeah. I'm amazed.
Mm-hmm.
Yay, we love it.
Yeah, very, very cool.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. All right, Miss Karen, come on up, my dear.
When was it, the end of January? Yeah, in January you started.
I think I met you in the January.
Yeah.
All right, here's Karen.
Can you see me? Hi.
I'm Karen, and I started on the patches at the end of January, and my goodness, my hair, I it has gotten so thick, and every time I cut it, it gets longer again, and I'm even getting my natural color back now, I noticed.
Wow.
And yeah, and my energy level is it's unbelievable. I get out in my garden and I go, go, go. And one of the things that happened to me when I first came here, because I came from Miami, I used to live in 0 sea level, and now I'm up here in the mountains, and this buzzing started coming in my ears, and it was about driving me crazy. I go back to Miami and I was fine. I come back here and oh, here we go again. But when I heard about the X49 and that was made to fight those frequencies and things, and right now I don't have any buzzing at all, so I use the X39 and the X49, and I am so thankful for them. And I also getting healing in my knee. I don't have pain with that anymore. I could just go on with a list. Just incredible. I'm so thankful for them, and everybody should be on the patches.
Yeah.
Thank
agreed.
you.
Good job. Karen. Thank you.
Anybody else? No?
Yeah,
No?
me?
Yes, ma'am.
I was just gonna say, for me, the reason I declined is because I still am getting consistent with using my patches, and I had trouble with getting them on, and like I'm still in the process. I don't have a big story yet, so I'm just trying to get myself making sure I'm wearing them every day. I'll go several days and forget them, and so that's why I'm here today, keeping myself reminded.
That's awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Glad you're here. Hey, Karla.
Hi there. I guess I could share.
Yay.
One of the first noticeable benefits is I was dealing with swollen ankles from just my lymphatic system had been interrupted. And after a long day, I'd have to come home, kick back in my easy chair, lift my feet up, sleep with my pillows under my feet. And I was going through a really stressful time. So I was using the patches, but I wasn't really using them on a regular basis. And I don't know, it was a month or two later that I realized, oh my gosh, I haven't had any swelling in my ankles. And the only difference I had done, the only thing I'd done different was started using the patches, and I wasn't even really using them every day. And to this day, I have not had an issue with swollen ankles. So obviously it's gotten my energy, my lymphatic system moving. And then more recently, I've just noticed that just getting out of bed in the morning was always painful. I mean, I'm only 57 years old, but I felt like I was 80, 90 years old whenever I'd get out of bed, because I have a pretty physical job. And I just kind of thought that that's what it was going to be like for the next 30 years of my life, was I was just going to have to deal with agonizing pain to get out of bed. And it's been, I would say, within the last 6 months, I have noticed a big difference. I'm not, when I get out of bed in the morning, I don't have that agonizing pain. I go up and down stairs without, my knees hurting, because I had torn both of my meniscus several years ago. I had bruised my tailbone 3 or 4 years ago. Then I was constantly feeling, every time I'd sit down, I'd have ongoing pain in my tailbone, and that's disappeared. And I had plantar fasciitis several years ago, and it just seemed like it never went away. And now I don't have any issues with that. So it's like all this pain, all this inflammation is definitely leaving my body, and it's allowing healing to happen. And so I don't feel like an old person when I get out of bed in the morning anymore. And plus I have a lot of energy too. So I'm very grateful for the patches.
Yay. Thank you.
Sure.
That reminds me of that text that we got from our friend in Idaho, and I was like giggling out loud from that text, where she was sharing with us that she had a similar experience. Or was it her sister-in-law or somebody who had started using the patches? And in her terms, she said she old persons it down the stairs. and then she goes, she old persons it down the stairs. But this day that she first started with using the patches, the next day she walked up and she walked down the steps normally, and she was like, oh, did I just do that? And she turned around and ran back up the stairs, going up and down the stairs, giggling to herself. And that was what a joy, what a cool thing to be able to share something that really does change lives. Woo, just pretty neat. So I am thrilled to give you a little bit more information about what this stuff is. And in a few minutes, I'll put a health tracker in to the chat, but just know that this is a good idea to think about the things that why are you here? Why are you curious about this? What health concerns do you have? How do you sleep? How are your hormones? What's your skin appearance like? All of these things, like think about these things as you are, and then just watch. The list of complaints will very much likely go shorter. All right, oh, here we go. Okay, so just so you know, I'm going to share with you a lot of information tonight, but I want you to get this website in your memory. You don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know all the things. Like Tracey and I literally have been dove in the deep end and have been studying and answering questions. And you'll get there, you'll learn along the way, but just know that you can go to this website, startx39now.com, and there's all kinds of information on there. And that's a beautiful website to share with a friend, so you don't have to like trip over your words trying to explain what this crazy patch is. There's videos there that say, what are doctors saying? There's the patents and the science about it. There's 50 years of research about the copper peptides are on a click of a button there. So here's some information from this website as well. And a lot of those things that I was sharing about the GHK copper peptides, you can find that on that website. And this is there as well, this information. So the X39, they did a study and they did participants. It was a small study of 15 people, but after 6 weeks of wearing the X39, they took their cardiovascular biomarkers before they started patching, and then in 6 weeks. They lowered their cardiovascular age, their biomarkers looked 8 weeks younger. They go in time forward, but they aged backward. How cool is that? So, this is information on that website. And just so you know, this is kind of in the secret sauce. So this company's been around for 20 years, but like I mentioned, it has been in the athletic world and kind of got introduced into the athletic world before the general public. So it's been the secret sauce of many people. You'll probably recognize some of these names: Serena Williams, David Beckham, Michael Phelps, when he won his 5 gold medals at the 2008 Olympics, they saw the stickers on him and they accused him of doping. Does anybody remember that? And they're like, nope, he's, after study, went under review, and they recognized, nope, he's not doping. Those were our patches. So again, it's been in the secret sauce of the competitive athletic world for a long time. And words, that's why not more of us don't know about it, but this company is exploding. So let's show you some of the pictures. Let's show you some experiences from other people. So Karla, we just heard from her, and in the top right of this picture, these are pictures from her dad. And I want you to kind of do a little guessing game with yourself. And if you go, which picture looks older? The one on the right or the one on the left? You look at the wrinkles and the age spots and things. Which picture looks older? And if you said the one on the right, you'd be right. That was the picture that was used on his 90th birthday party invite. And he was like 87 or 88 in that picture. And the picture on the left was taken at his 90th birthday. And some of those age spots are lightened. Some of the wrinkles are gone. And by the way, between the time that he started patching, he tore his rotator cuff as well. And his rotator cuff was healed because of the patches that he was doing. So pretty amazing. So we're going to show you some stories, or show you, these are real people, like Tracy's husband, Eric. These are pictures of the bruising after a surgery he had. And look where he had the Eon patch. Where he was patched, the next day, overnight, was more, the healing was more accelerated right in that spot.
And the incision is much smaller.
And the incision is smaller. Look at that. Yep. So just, these are real people getting real results. And then down in the bottom, in the middle here, that is a screenshot from a presentation that I saw by a plastic surgeon who does a special procedure. And he, in this time when he was testing whether or not he was going to implement using the X39 patches in his practice, he had 2 willing subjects to practice or to start using them. And they're the 2 on the right. So what you're looking at here is one of his patients that wasn't using patches. 5 weeks post-surgery, was at the same place in her recovery as the people were 10 days post-surgery who were using the patches. So that's what his recommendation was to his patients after that, is to use the patches. So we just went over this expedited wound healing. That's a few days. And I love this picture partially because this is a scar that you can see, but we also have scar tissue that you can't see, and it grows. And I have two family members. One almost died, and I was in the hospital in the emergency room with my mom, who didn't die, but she was having similar symptoms of her colon, tumors in her colon coming back, and it was scar tissue. So I'm really, really, really happy to see that the X39 remodels scar tissue. So what we're looking at here is open heart surgery here that is fresh in July of 2017, and the healing in 1 year without the patches. That's the center picture. And then from the center picture to the far right is 1 month using the patches. So you can see rebuilding there. And again, you see some x-rays here. And this is somebody who was under chiropractic care and using the patches. And this is something that a traditional medicine may say is somewhat impossible. And look at the repairs happening with use of X39. This took some time. This wasn't a quick fix, but this person was definitely a whole lot more comfortable. And we do have some support patches that Tracey will tell you about that we can use to accelerate these results as well. And this is pretty impressive. I was just at a chiropractic office last weekend, and they were sharing an experience with IceWave, and that's what reminded me of this picture. There was somebody in extreme pain, and the two of them, I was talking with both of them. It was a healthcare practitioner and her massage therapist. They both work in the same office. And they were in the restroom at an event somewhere, and they had IceWave with them. She was in extreme pain. And so she patched her with the IceWave, and they both heard her tailbone, her coccyx pop back into place because it relaxed the muscles when they were no longer feeling the pain. That was pretty impressive. And they both heard it. They said it was so weird, Cami. We thought, like the person, yeah, pretty amazing. So again, we've talked about this. This is age reversal versus anti-aging. We're not just pausing where you are now, and we're really getting down to the cellular level and causing apoptosis of cells that are replicating poorly and rewriting brand new, fresh cells. So you can see how this would pause. If we just said, okay, we're pausing, we're anti-aging, then Dr. Harmon here on the left would just say, look like this next year. But instead, this picture is from a few years ago, and then he's looking younger and younger every time I see him. That's pretty cool. And again, you can see the vitality, you can see the skin difference, you can see the reduced inflammation and the joy. That is, it's real. The joy is real. And again, we're telling the body with this light signal, reflecting the light signal to make what your body needs to make, right? There's different patching systems, and Tracey will go through support patches, but look at the difference in the décolleté there. That's one of the first things I noticed was my skin texture changing. Hair growth. Oh my goodness. Hormone regulation. So many good things. And this, I love pausing on this one. Vitiligo. That's, and there are lots of individuals in this world with what they're told is an autoimmune disease or an autoimmune issue. And And I love having something to offer that will support their body to help support their body's immune system in this way. That's changing. That's life changing right there. And yes, that is all 4 pictures are the same guy in 1 year. I love this too. This is a few weeks of repair, and we've talked about expediting wound healing, but this is after radiation. You can see her with her patch on the first day after radiation. And then by June 23rd, she's looking pretty good. So that from June 6th to June 23rd, and then June 30th, look at that. There's no scarring. There's no nothing. Like that's pretty amazing. 24 days. Woo! Pretty good. This is a recommended idea for knee issues. So Tracey will go into the different patches and what they do, but these are patches that were recommended by our founder and inventor of this technology. He's dug into the science on these. So that's a pretty incredible thing. And I love this. He always offers or recommends that we drink plenty of water, and he recommends different supplements to take as well that to help the body have the building blocks to repair. This study blows my mind. This is based on this QEEG brain mapping study that was done with older people, and every single one of them improved in their inflammation in their brain. So what we're looking at here in session 1 with the red circle, mostly red and lots of colors there, a 77-year-old woman, that's their brain scan before she started patching. And session 2 is at 3 weeks, and session 3 is at 6 weeks. And aqua is the color that we want. Like that's a nice, beautiful, cool brain. The more aqua, the healthier you are. So that is a beautiful situation in 6 weeks. And every participant had similar results where their brain improved in 6 weeks. So we can say that increasing the copper peptide supports cell and nerve regeneration. And I love these pictures because who doesn't love a sweet fur baby? These people started experimenting with these on their animals. And I have a video of a 14-year-old Jack Russell Terrier who has got her little hippity hop back in her life, and she was slowing down tremendously. And this is Tracey's friend's Brutus, this black lab here. She was talking to her friend about patching for some swelling on her leg or something in December. And she's like, don't throw away your used patches, take them off and put them on Brutus. And she's like, you didn't know, they didn't know, Tracey didn't know at the time that Brutus had gone blind. And so his owner put her used patches on Brutus, and the picture from one, the cloudy eye to the bright eye looking at her is a week, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a week. 1 week. And he was not moving around very much because he couldn't see. And within that week, he started getting up and following her around the house and gaining his sight back. That's pretty tremendous. So copper is, as we've been talking about, 50 years. Oh my goodness, it just goes on its own. We've talked about 50 years of research on the copper, and it is something that tells the fat cells that it's okay to break down so that they can be used for energy. This does bump up your ATP levels. And that's what our cells create as they're burning calories. So that's pretty amazing. So there is a doctor named Dr. Velvet, and she came up with a patching system to help her clients with their, she just kind of had a hunch. She was, oh my goodness, it has a brain of its own. She came up with this patching system to help her clients, and there's a reason for every patch on the belly, but her results were pretty amazing. She said, I'm going to test this on myself and then I will see. She lost, when she measured different measurements, the arm, the waist, the belly, the thighs, the hips. She took all of those measurements, and overall she lost 33 inches. And she only lost a few pounds. It wasn't meant to be a weight loss thing, but she was giving her body permission to release toxins and release inflammation and start a healing process in her gut. And this is a beautiful story because it has positively affected people we know. And Tracey's bonus daughter really was in the most difficult part of her life. Admit, Miss Nita, a difficult season of her life, and she was throwing up, and her body was just reacting. She couldn't keep food down, and just the most inflamed that she had been. And then Tracey, she came to stay with Tracey. This girl thought she had the flu, and she did not. Tracey ended up, she was willing, using that gut regeneration patching system on her. So you see her at the beginning of September holding her kitty there, kind of at the biggest she'd ever been, very depressed, not doing well. And then by the end of September, she had lost 35 pounds in 18 days. It's all not like fat. That was her body hanging on to inflammation and her body hanging on to things. So she kept going. And by the end of December, she was doing amazing. You can see the difference in confidence in her, just in those same genes. She had lost a total of 70 pounds by April 24. So she's doing so much better, and she's telling people about these patches and how they have changed her life. So Tracey is going to share with us all of the different types of patches and share how you can get them.
Well, thank you so much, Cami. So I'm just going to give you kind of highlights, and just know if you have something specific you're dealing with, we are really happy to help you customize a kit. And we always love, you can get these for retail. And for what these do, we think they're really quite a bargain. When you consider going over to or down to Panama, Tony Robbins had a shoulder injection. It was $35,000 plus travel expenses. And that's somebody else's DNA. So it's probably going to be doing that about every 5 years. So that's not real cost effective. But for 30 patches of X39 or X49, it's $49.95 at retail. So that is still a bargain for what these are doing for your body. But we love to give everybody a deal. Like when you go to Costco and you buy in volume, we sell these at $99.95 for a 30-day supply. And that is an excellent deal for all that these are doing. And oh, now it wants to be difficult for me. There we go. All right. There are some other ones that we love to pair with the X39. And the one that I really, really recommend everybody use, in addition to X39, when we're getting your body started and jump starting it, is Eon. And that is raising a peptide in your liver. That liver peptide is responsible to take inflammation out of your body. And when we have, when we're younger, we have an abundance of that peptide. And as we age, just like stem cells, we lose a lot of that. But if we don't get that inflammation under control, the stem cells can get eaten by that inflammation. So you're, bringing them back with the X39, but if we still have the inflammation issue, we're really not going to get full benefit. The other one that we love is, especially for those of us in pain, is Ice Wave. So Ice Wave is a 2-patch system, and that's working on polarity of your body. Think of a car battery, positive charge, negative charge, and that is breaking nerve pain communication. So again, nothing going in the body, but we're allowing that break in communication channels, and that often gets people out of pain in just minutes. Carnosine is another fantastic peptide that you have in your body, and that is very responsible for brain and heart health. It works on your circulatory system, and if you've ever heard of sticky blood is often what we hear when somebody gets, a heart attack or a stroke, and we certainly don't want those. But when you're young and you have a lot of carnosine in your brain and in your heart, we don't get those heart attacks and strokes. So bringing that back into good balance is a really good and smart thing to do. But so many good things with that. It regenerates organs, and I have actually helped a few people change their eye vision health and eye pressures with macular degeneration and things. So that's a great one. Glutathione is our body's master antioxidant. Again, this one lives in the liver. And what that is responsible for is opening the pathways and keeping them open that Mother Nature gave us when we're young. So when we're young, we don't maintain our toxins in our body. They flow out as intended. But as we age, stress and diet and, chemicals, all sorts of different things can cause those to break down and block. And then our body holds on to them, and that's not good either. So the original patch that David created 20 years ago for the US Navy SEALs down in San Diego was the energy enhancer. And what he was doing that one for was those SEALs were pushing their bodies so heavily on missions. And he was really feeling bad that they were kicking out a record number of them, because when their bodies are not keeping up and they're living on a dark submarine, we really need that sunlight for energy and health. And when you're lacking that on a submarine, they were turning to stimulants and caffeine and ultimately some amphetamines, and that gets you kicked out. And they invest a lot of money in training them. So he was asked by the US Navy to help come up with an alternative. And he came up with this patch, again, a 2-patch system, and it is burning fat for fuel. So we love this one, especially I was wearing mine earlier today because we burn an extra 300 to 600 calories, and I'm a dessert girl. So when I wear that, it's like, oh, okay, I can have a little extra bonus at the end of the night. But it is doing really great things for your lymphatic system and flushing out some toxins. Silent Night, I love that one, and that I used very routinely in the beginning of these patches until I regenerated my melatonin level back to where I was about age 25, 30. I now sleep like a baby, and I really rarely need to use that Silent Night. But that melatonin is a hormone, really important, and very, very good for also prevention of some things too. SP6, for those of you in the room, you can see me wearing this fashionable little patch down here on the inside of my left leg above my ankle. I love this one because it is reducing my cravings. It's balancing my hormones, and that is very helpful, especially anybody who has a blood sugar issue. This is a great one because insulin is a hormone. So when we're working with the master endocrine regulator off the hypothalamus, that is a really good one. So whether you're craving the sugars, the salts, the alcohol, or other bad things, this really helps calm that hypothalamus down so that that's no longer screaming at you. The purchase prices on these, again, retail, we don't really love retail. We could make more money, but we just want people to have good health. We want you to get the most patches you possibly can. But if you wanted to pay retail, we will let you pay $79.95. You'll get 30 of each of these, or of any of these, I should say. But again, we love the wholesale, which we classify as a brand partner. And then you can get these supportive patches as low as $49.95. And when we're doing this in a wholesale kit initially, they're all working out to about half the price of the X39 or X49. So that's a pretty great deal. And some of these you don't even use every day. So that can be a month and a half or 2 months supply for $50 for what they're doing in the body. Pretty remarkable. I personally love this one. So Alavita, when I was in my menopause chaos and depression and anxiety and all that, I really came back very quickly with the use of this aloe vera, and I slept with it at night between my eyebrows, because what it's doing is it's decalcifying our pineal gland. You know what the pineal gland is? That's very important for endocrine regulation hormones, but it also is working with pituitary, hypothalamus, the three amigos, and adrenals. And it's doing some really amazing things for oxidative stress, for elevating our own collagen. And for a lot of people, they get a little confused because this is really celebrated as beautiful skin and hair and all and nails. This is so much more. If you think about what collagen is, it is your body's matrix. It is your lubrication system. So when those joints start getting creaky and tight and dried out, you don't have enough collagen. So I often am recommending in people's kit that we build for them when they're having pain issues. I really want them to have this because it's like the oil can of our body, goes around to those little joints, puts the moisture in there. When you get the moisture back in the joints, we start regenerating ligaments, tendons. Ultimately, in a few months, with a combination of another one, we can bring back the cartilage. That's pretty unheard of. And I've helped a few people bone on bone get to maybe skip a little surgery that wouldn't have been very fun, right? But chemical free, very, very rare, very small, I should say, percentage of chemical. It's just a little stabilizer in there for shelf life. Perfect pH, goes right into our skin. I don't even know I'm wearing it, but this comes in an incredible kit. It's such a value, $150. You're getting 2 months of aloe vera, a day cream and a night cream. And I love them. My skin just glows. But let's talk about that timeline, because we start in the first few days of wearing these are called a gene whisperer. And if you've ever been told you have genetics in your family that you're all predisposed to get something, maybe it's that fast growing cell thing or a cognitive decline, blood sugar issues. We typically don't have those things when we're young. We get them as we age because we start losing the things that hold those things back. And I liken like the stem cells and a lot of these different peptides, they're holding the door shut on very scary things that live in that, behind that door. And this just helps turn back the hands of time. In the first 24 hours, you're resetting about 4,000 of your genes to a younger age. So if you're predisposed to things, you really want to do that. The first 1 to 3 months, we start to see physical, mental, emotional things happening in the body, in the brain, and just how we feel. I get a lot of people telling me, oh my goodness, I'm sleeping good. I have energy, mental clarity. I'm checking off my to-do list. So that 1 to 3 month is really critical. And we need to give our body time, because whatever we're dealing with right now, I guarantee you didn't get it overnight. And I guarantee you it isn't going to go away overnight. But be patient. 3 to 6 months, you start to actually bring back those active stem cells that have the ability to repair, regenerate. And 6 to 12 months is when we start going into that age reversal phase where Cami showed you Dr. Harmon, and he looks much, much younger and his natural hair color came back. So 1 month for every decade you are old is what David Schmidt, the inventor, recommends. If you'll give them that time, you will regenerate the interior and exterior of your body, and you're going to have a whole lot better quality of life. But let's talk about these wholesale packages, because we can get you a nice combination of about 5 packs for $300. So if you got 2 months at just X39 at retail, that's $300, right? So really the company is giving you additional packs for free when you do this up front as a silver kit. That's a one-time cost. And then if you have somebody, you know, maybe it's husband and wife, or you have a family, for $500, we can get you about 8 to 11 of these packs, and we customize again for what you have going. And then ultimately, if you want to upgrade, and you can keep upgrading along the way, they'll always credit you what your previous purchase was against the next upgrade. But this might be for somebody who is wanting to really have a lot of patches on hand. You might have a huge family, lots of people you want to help, or you might be a practitioner or in a hair salon or a chiropractor office. But then you want to keep your repair cells activating. And we do that with that monthly subscription of the X39. Again, looking at that timeline, and that's $99.95 a month for that one. And the nice thing about this is that 30-day, you get a 30-day money back guarantee when you do purchase that wholesale package. You'd always want to go back to whoever invited you to this if you were interested in placing an order, or you can always reach out to Cami or I. We're very happy to help you customize that. So what do you do next? So we want to get your questions answered, and Cami and I are going to hang out here and we're going to answer any questions that people might have. But we do encourage you give, X39 and Eon at least 90 days, plus whatever other things we might be needing to help you work on. If you don't sleep, we really need to get you sleeping. Sleep is critical for your repair and your long-term cognitive health, but it also is when your body purges toxins. So important. We pick your pack, your auto ship if you would like, and you can just start enjoying an increased quality of life. And we always encourage you, if you care about somebody, let them know, share this with them. It's really easy for them to hop on our Zoom every Tuesday night. If you want to learn some more, there's some amazing tools, and you can share these with friends too. We have testimonies where people, a few nights a week, will share their testimonies. We get to record them. We have a science and tech call on Tuesday nights at 5 o'clock Pacific time. Dr. Stacy does an amazing job, and she hosts a lot of really great doctors on that. Marcy does a patching party each Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific time, so it's a little earlier. And then Tuesday nights, Cami and I, 6:30 to 7:30. And then we've been doing an in-person meeting here the last few months, once a month. And so we're just curious in July if, rather than us scheduling another one here, maybe you'd like us to come to you if you want to get together some folks, or maybe a coffee shop get together, something at church. And just be prepared that, it is the social season. When that sunshine comes out, we tend to gather. And if you're wearing a patch, be prepared at your barbecues and things, somebody might ask you, what is that? We encourage you to have a brochure too. And be sure to recommend that they visit that Start X39 Now website. But you can always point them to one of these calls. But the word has really gotten out. This company is just amazing. And really what it is, this is a company that shares the gift of health. I mean, health is really the new wealth. I keep hearing this. We have a lot of millionaires in our country. We have a lot of even billionaires these days. You can't take that money with you, but your health is everything. So due to FDA regulations, this company cannot advertise, and it breaks my heart because for all that this does, I think it should be on every Super Bowl commercial. It should be on billboards. It should be all over the place, and they can't do it. But we are their word of mouth vehicle to share this with people. And what they do give us is a thank you check. When you do share, if somebody should sign up, they do deposit money into your bank account, which is pretty great. You can pay for your patches. You can boost your bank account, go on a fantastic dream vacation, buy a car, just fund your kiddos' soccer games and different things that they might need. But the company is exploding, and we just can't say enough good about this. But here's the sad thing to me is this company has been here for 20 years, based out of San Diego. Most of America doesn't even know it exists. But you look around the world, they ship to over 80 countries, and most of the world embraces natural modalities. Our country is very behind the times in that. And but Cami and I finally figured out what we want to be when we get older. And of course, it's younger. So we appreciate you taking the time, and we'd like to open it up to any questions. So online, if anybody has a question.
Stop sharing so they
Okay,
can see.
yeah, we'll stop sharing now. And then if you would like to unmute yourself, if you have a question, we're happy to answer that. Or if there's anyone here in the room, anybody have a question we can answer for you, we're happy to do that. And Becca, I don't know, are you still on here, Becca? We might have lost Becca. Okay. I said Rebecca and I meant Becca. She was the one who was.
There she
Oh, is she still here? Oh,
good.
okay. So that is Rebecca, but there was a Becca, and I think she is off now. She goes to bed early, and she was going to give us an amazing testimony tonight. And I'm sorry I messed that up and I said Rebecca, but this lady has had incredible pain, a very rare condition that there's really no hope for. And for about 4 years, she's had to live in her house in pain. And on 3 weeks on these patches, she is out of pain. And on Sundays, she went to the beach. She lives in San Diego. Her mom took her to the beach. First time in 4 years, she got to go to a beach and be pain-free. And this morning, she texted me again, and she said, I woke up again and I'm pain-free. So that is a pretty amazing thing. And the condition she has is nicknamed the suicide disease because the pain is so intense. And 75% of the people end up taking their own life at about year 7. And she was on year 4. So we feel it's such a blessing that these patches made their way to her. And I'm going to help her share this with her community because I do believe that this is going to change a lot of lives. So pretty special. And we will get her to do her testimony next time. But any questions? Going, Don? Oh, yes, Carmen.
Could you give us the name of the website again?
Yes, it is startx39now.com. And that is a great website. I always tell people watch the first 3 videos. The first video is 2 minutes, the history of light as a healing modality. And you go back in Grecian times, Roman times, light is everything. And they knew how to use it back then. The second one is on the history of stem cells, the race for big pharma. And that's a lot of why this company can't advertise. There's a lot of threat with big pharma about what this company's doing. And the third one is David Schmidt talking to some practitioners about the power of these patches and what they do. It's a little high science, but I think you'll get it. It's really good, really great stuff. But there's lots of doctor videos on there, pictures. Any other questions? Okay, well, thank you so much for coming to join us. And we will be back here again next Tuesday night. So invite your friends. And thanks so much.
Thanks, you guys.
Okay. Good night, everyone. Have a great night. Take care.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.